Hello, welcome to the Southampton Boat Show. I'm Frances Howarth and this is my husband Michael Howarth.
We're here to look at boats, and we've been doing that most of our lives. We've been sailing our own boat in the Caribbean, we've been chartering, we've been crew on super yachts and the really big large yachts, and now we write about them in magazines and talk about them on television.
We're here to see all the things there are, both the boats on the water and the equipment.
There's plenty to see and plenty to do here at Southampton. We've got big boats, we've got Princess, we've got Sunseeker, we've got Oyster, we've got a Rustler 37, we've got motorboats, we've got sailing boats, we've got fun for everyone. So come on with us. There's a lot here to see and do.
I think you're right. Let's go now quickly. We've got a lot to do.
Okay. Well, we're here at the Southampton Boat Show, and I'm talking with the #1 sponsor, Frank Dixie. And as it happens, Frank, and I don't know whether you remember this, but you and I sat here 7 years ago, and I asked you what made you sponsor the Southampton Boat Show, and you just thought, you said, I'd try it for a year. Here we are 7 years later.
Do you know what? I do remember that 7 years ago, crikey. I do remember you saying that, and I said, yeah, we'll see how it goes, and let's kick it around. First year was a disaster, really, because I think the British Marine Federation, as well as PSP, were not used to sponsoring. Certainly, we'd never sponsored anything, and they had never had a sponsor. So it was a weird time for both of us, and I remember thinking at the end of the show, do I really want to do this again? And then I thought, well, we spent a lot of money. Maybe we could get more out of this if we put a bit more effort in, and also worked a bit closer with the British Marine Federation, which we did. And year 2 was significantly better. We'd signed up a 3-year deal. Here we are after 7 years, and we're still talking. But I do remember that, yes.
Good. And it must have done your business a lot of good. You started shipping boats around the world. Tell me about that.
Well, previous to sponsoring, we were, the name of our company, by the way, is Premier Shipping and Packing Limited, which is a bit of a mouthful. So we needed to shorten that. So I turned it into PSP, and then of course we had to brand that, and to brand it we needed a commodity to brand it with. We were shipping commercial boats at the time, so we felt that the leisure craft business was a good way to move and expand our company. And this is something we did. So it worked very well, and the boat show helped us to do that. We now ship for all the major brands around the world, so it's done us a power of good.
So you're telling me that Sunseeker and Princess and what have you ship out to Singapore, Australia, all of those countries using you?
Yeah, we're not necessarily going direct with the Sunseekers or the Princesses, but the dealers, which are really the major players. The dealers are the ones that make the decisions on shipping, and they're the ones that we deal with, and they come to us, and they would only have known about us through the boat show.
So you made your name in yachting circles, and now you've decided to splash your PSP logo on a Clipper yacht.
Clipper was to take the brand worldwide. That was a conscious move to get us recognised in certainly the countries where Clipper attends. In addition to that, I have to say I'm a huge fan of Clipper. I think what they do is magnificent, and the people and the lives that they change. And I wanted, in some ways, to be part of that. And William Ward allowed me to do this, and I'm grateful for that.
Ever been tempted to do a leg yourself?
Not in a million years. I heard, and I don't know how true it is, I've heard that they don't even have Sky TV on board these boats. Well, not for me.
We're here on board PSP Clipper, one of the 12 vessels inside the Clipper Round the World race. And now I'm with David Cusworth, the recruitment manager, and you're busy choosing the next group of people that are going to sail around the world next year.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We run the race every 2 years, and so the last race finished in July, a couple of months ago. We're now gearing up ready for the race that starts in the summer of 2015. So we're recruiting crew, we're recruiting skippers, we're looking at sponsorship. We're about 70% full, but we've got crew from all over the world, any age between 18 and 70, and currently more than 40 nationalities.
Has anybody ever come to you without any experience at all and done that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. About 40% of the crew have never sailed. I did the race in 2002, and I'd sailed for a week before I started training. So there's a very vigorous training program that the crew go through to make sure they're competent and safe and part of team building before the race actually begins.
And what's the greatest sort of achievement that anybody gets out of participating in such a race?
Everybody's looking for something slightly differently. Some people are looking at a lifelong goal of sailing around the world. Some people are here to make lifelong friends. I guess one of the key things is just the personal achievement of facing all of the elements. You know, if you race across the North Pacific, we had 100-mile-an-hour winds on the last race. You race through the doldrums and you have no wind for 4 days. So the physical and mental challenges are very varied, but it's accomplishing that. It's getting across an ocean with a group of like-minded people and that personal sense of achievement.
That's great. Now, I guess we'd like to talk to somebody who's actually done it. So, do you want to talk to Sophie and find out more?
You are the youngest girl who's ever done that, aren't you?
Yes, so like David was saying, since 1996 I've been the youngest girl to do the whole race.
So what on earth inspired you to do this?
I didn't have much sailing experience before the race. I'd probably done about a week sailing before I did the 4 weeks of training. But I started following the race in 2009 and they left from Hull, and that's not far from where I live. So I followed the race, read the crew blogs, and that kind of inspired me to look into it and aspire to do this race.
I haven't yet asked you, how old were you when you did it?
So I was 18 when I set off, and I'm 19 now.
I have to ask you, what was the high point of the thing?
It's so hard to think of a high point, but I think one of the things I'll always remember is sailing across the North Pacific. We were seeing some very, very large waves, and I really enjoy helming. I love steering the boat through that kind of weather. So when you get these huge waves, about 10 meters high, surfing down those waves and getting some really good speeds is just an incredible feeling.
Well, I think that you're a very determined young lady, and I suspect you will achieve what you want in life. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
It's been a great day at the show, hasn't it? I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot, but there's more to see, and I think we're going to have to come back tomorrow.
Oh, that would be great. I'm really looking forward to it. There's a lot I want to see.
We've enjoyed ourselves immensely, and we'll come back and bring you more. Until then, it's good night from me.
And good night from me.